Hello, and welcome to episode 48 of Moms with Yarn. My name is Sharon, known as Bronx Knitter One on Ravelry and Bronx Knitter on Instagram, and I am also here on YouTube. Welcome. I am surrounded by things, but I don't have much knitting content today. I don't know where my knitting mojo went. It probably went with the days of the year because I cannot believe that we are better than halfway through September. And I barely remember June and July except for the heat. And now the heat is gone, but the humidity is here. So I might sound a little bit rough, but that's allergies and they're here for the duration. So bear with me while I go through my little bit of work, a little bit of knitting, not much. The first thing I worked on was the Moss and Deerhorns hat by Sylvia Bobilvia. Sylvia Bobilvia. This is a pattern in Pom Pom magazine, and this is what it looks like. It's not free. It's not a free pattern. You can only get it from the magazine. But I made that hat with Into the World. It was a spin along with Diane from the Knittables podcast. And this is 100% merino in the Lavinia colorway from Downton Abbey. It was Downton Abbey inspired color. It was my honest attempt at making a 3-ply, and I did make a 3-ply, and it did come out worsted. And it came out pretty nice. A lot of barber pulling, but all the colors were there. It was not what I was expecting, but I liked it all the same. I just didn't know what I was going to make with it, so it kind of hung around for a few years, quite a few. And then this hat pattern came along, and I decided I would give it a go. So that's how that worked out. So this is 3-ply worsted, Into the World, and this is the hat. The hat is got this, I guess it's the Moss and Deerhorn pattern on it. And it kind of got lost in the striping, but it just so happens that I really like this hat when it is inside out. I like it much better this way. Can you see those colors? Here's the design. It kind of makes it look like a turban, but if I was going to wear it inside out, and I do plan to wear it inside out, I will wear it inside out with the design in the back because I love this hat. I used a US size 7 needle for my worsted, and it came out pretty good. I like it. It's going to keep my head nice and warm. So that was finished object number 1 of 2. So I don't know where I do the design. There it is. Not crazy about the way this design looks on this hat, but it'll do. It's a hat, and who can't always use one in the wintertime? And probably during the course of the year somebody will take it from me and it'll be gone forever. So finished object number 1. I love hand spun. I love knitting with it, and this stuff, as well, is not the softest. It's pretty good spinning for me. I always have such a tough time with merino. Me and merino don't always get along, but I did pretty good pattern for the use of this yarn. I'm happy. The second thing I finished is a pair of socks called Vanilla is the New Black. by Shanghai Lily, also known, I guess, as Anna Fletcher. And this is the socks with this nifty new heel construction, which I really happen to like. And I made it with some West Yorkshire Spinners yarn in what I am told is the Wood Pigeon colorway, which is color 305. It is 437 yards, and it just says 75 wool, 25 nylon. It doesn't say superwash. It's a 4-ply yarn. This is what it looks like, and this is what the sock looks like. Now it hasn't been blocked yet. These are for my son, so you might notice they're a little bit large in the foot, but this is the heel construction, which is extremely stretchy. Can you see that stretchiness? I love the look of that heel, and it really did not disrupt too much the sequence of colors. I liked that, but the best thing about this sock pattern is that you can wear it inside out or outside in. Here's my sock pattern. It doesn't necessarily look that good in this type of yarn, this self-striping yarn, but it is still self-striped, and the heel still holds up. I love how that looks. So I didn't put them on the sock blockers because it's easier to see this way, right side out, inside out. And the heel works both on both socks, either which way. So this is a pair of socks for my son, and I am completely happy with how they came out. The pattern is not, you're going to really have to pay attention. It's a plain vanilla sock, but the heel construction is a little, I had a little problem with it. I think I was just overthinking it a little bit too much. But once I realized what was going on with the pattern, I got the socks down pat. They went real fast. And this yarn is not rustic exactly, but it's not the smoothest yarn either, or the softest yarn either. So, but it came out pretty nice. I like it. I would make it again. In fact, I am going to make it again because it was so good. It was good to deal with. And so that ends my finished objects. Yeah, it was a sad day at my house when the knitting wasn't happening because I was working on the socks of my own design for the Socktober knit along. So I made the socks with Knit Picks Felici in the bubble colorway. Yeah. And these socks are left-right specific. And there you are. I made them in self-striping, so you would see what they look like with self-striping. And I made them also in a solid with BB Lang in an old colorway, from Old Stash, so you could see how they look in a solid. and a stripe. And I also made them in a variegated, which is leftover sock yarn from a pair of plain vanilla socks I made my son. And this is HPKY in 100% Corriedale. And so you can see what it looks like no matter what. Really? Really? I'll try to cut that part out. So you can see what it looks like in a variegated, a solid, and a stripe. So the sock pattern is still being worked on. Hopefully it'll be up in the next week or so that it'll be available for the knit along. I did all of these sock patterns with 2 repeats here and 2 repeats on the foot. The only thing that's different is the stitch count on each of the socks. One is 72 stitches, one is 64 stitches, and the last was 56 stitches. So 3 different sizes, but the same number of repeats for them all. And you can see they came out different sizes. So that is going to be for the knit along, and there is also going to be a prize for participating in the knit along, which is, oops, losing my sock blockers, which is a skein of Skano 100% merino yarn in the Longrin colorway. It's got all these pretty colors in it. Very nice, very squishy and soft, good twist and bounce. And I made the Fireplace Embers shawl with this. Yeah, Fireplace Embers. That was by Debbie from the Never Cast Off podcast. That was her design. So this is the yarn. And, oops, that'll be the prize. And if we get a lot of people who participate, I'll try to get a second prize going for that as well. So that is that. And so next up is gifts I got. Gifts I got for from Tracey, because she was thinking about me when she was looking around in her craft room and just decided I was worthy of having some things that she didn't love as much as she figured I would love them. And she's right, because she sent me a whole big bag, a gigantic bag full of stuff. And you know how sweet she is. Sent me a card, which was really nice. But she sent me a 10-inch hoop, because she saw probably on the podcast that I am interested in doing that cross stitch thing. And she sent me a 22 count cross stitch fabric, Aida cloth, 22 count. And she also sent these floss on a ring. Look at how many of them there are. These are floss keepers, so you can put the color down and put your floss inside and seal it up, keep it clean. And you can keep them on this O-ring. So that was really nice of her. But she wasn't finished, because she sent me some project bags as well. This is from Rose Knits. It's a box bag, which you can't tell. Beautiful colors. I love the colors. funky far out insides. Love them. So yeah, box bag from Rose Knits. Love it. And she sent me a drawstring bag with little watermelons and a solid inside. I wonder if she made this. And she sent me this bag, which is great for knitting down by the water because it's huge and you can put a lot of stuff inside. And that's the lining, and it has a snap to keep everything inside. So I love that too, and I love anything that smacks of batik, and that's what this is. That's what that fabric is. And another one, and it has flowers and what look like little robots. Another drawstring bag. And she sent me 2 of these Tom's bags, which makes for great project bag. I wonder who got the Tom's shoes. And last but not least, a Marvel comic strip project bag. This one has Iron Man and Thor on it. And I stuffed this inside a smaller one with Spider-Man and Superman, I think, and the Hulk. What? I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Thank you, Tracey. Thank you for thinking of me. I have a wealth of bags now. I'm going to have to probably share some of them too, but we'll see. That was gift number 1, gift for no reason. My second gift was actually a prize winning for participating with Sheila and Debbie of the Never Cast Off podcast in their Christmas in July knit along. That was where I made the Spindrift shawl. I think that was the only one I posted in the room. I can't remember. But I got a Christmas bag. These are from Thank God for Bags, which is Sheila's design. And inside the bag is the Never Cast Off podcast. She sent me a postcard. This is their logo. How clever is that? And she sent me a card with kitty cats on the front and mice on the back.
Is it for your video?
And yes. This looks like it might be a sample of somebody's hand spun, maybe. And she sent a tin that says Merry Christmas. And this is from stitch markers from onefinedesign.etsy.com. How cute is this? They're stitch markers, red and green stitch markers, and one of them is a Christmas stocking. Isn't that adorable? Thanks, Sheila and Debbie. How cute. So that was a prize. loving getting surprises in the mail. This bag is perfect for putting down in my bag, which I always do. Nice zipper, and it has a little zipper pull that says, "Believe in yourself." Yeah. Don't you love cattail podcasting? Okay. So as you all know, October 15th is when Rhinebeck, also known as the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, which happens to be held in Rhinebeck, New York. And I plan to go, and this happens every year. Every time it comes around, I get the shopping bug. Why can't I save my money and shop at Rhinebeck is a mystery to me. But every time an event comes up that I can spend some money before the event, I do. I can't even figure it out. So the first thing I purchased was from Juanita at She Spins LLC on Etsy. She has a boatload of spinning hand-spun fiber or yarn that she's selling in her shop at big, huge discounts. And I would have bought about 4 skeins, but at the very end of all the pictures that she had, I saw a basket of fiber, and I decided that I wanted the fiber instead, because I can, you know, make pretty yarn too. So I ordered 4.7 ounces of this luscious alpaca. Now, you don't need a description of how soft alpaca is or how pretty it is, but 4.7 ounces, I don't remember how much I paid for it. After Juanita told me that it was not in the shop, that she didn't have any fiber that was up for sale, I said I saw the picture of the fiber and I want it. And so she fished around and she found it for me. Ow, cat, ow. And she found it for me and she gave it to me, and now I am going to have some alpaca to spin. Thanks, Juanita. Oops. Thanks, Juanita. And then from Paradise Fibers, I got Yak Down in light brown. And that is this color. It's a little bit more red than the alpaca. Alpaca. What? This is so soft. I think this is the softest fiber I've ever touched in my whole life. You can't even tell it's in your hand. It looks terrible, but it feels wonderful. Oh my gosh, I've never had anything this luxurious before. I'm impressed with that. And the last thing I bought was from Gail's Art. It's a sock blank called Extreme 80. And it is 463 yards of 75-25 superwash merino, 25% nylon. And Gail's Art is on Etsy. And this is what it looks like. It looks wild and crazy. I got it because I think it's gonna make some kind of a stripe, and I wanted a stripe. I already had the watermelon blank from her, and I knit it up, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. This I think I'm gonna like a lot better. If you've never bought a sock blank from KAL, you should know that the color doesn't always seep all the way to the back. But it's perfect because it makes for a little bit of variegation, but I think the colors are close enough together to give me a striped yarn. So since I couldn't get my hands on an Andre Sue one, I went for this lovely. So, aren't these colors wild and crazy? So that was it. I guess I didn't do as bad as I thought I was. I have to save some money so I can have some money to spend at Rhinebeck. So that's everything. That's everything. I hope it makes up for not having knitting content, looking at some stuff I got. But that is it. And I hope to have some more knitting for you the next time I podcast, because I was just so busy working on this design and trying to get the heel flap instructions written down. The problem is when you make as many socks as I have made, you have it memorized in your head and you are trying to impart the information in a way that makes sense to somebody who maybe doesn't know the right way or the way, any way to get it done. And so writing it down and making it make sense is a little bit more tricky than I thought it was going to be. So I will get the finishing touches on the pattern and I'll send it back to my proofreader, who is Tracey, tbmccarthy, and she'll get it back to me and I'll post it on Ravelry. And then when October comes along, everybody can participate in the knit along with a free sock pattern, and it'll be great. They can be a Christmas present, they can be a present for you, they can be a present for me, because me watching you make a pattern that came from my head, to me, is remarkable. So that's it. That's everything. I will see you in 2 weeks-ish. Until then, happy knitting.